So we'll have the we'll start the hearings report and we'll hear from, so that's item 18, and we'll hear from the chair, Councillor Yanni Johansson. We won't conclude this by morning tea, so we'll just well, if we don't conclude this by morning tea, we will adjourn at 11 o'clock, and then we'll come back to this after we've dealt with the item number 20. So
well, you can't change anything though, can you? As far as you either accept it or send it back.
No.
So
there's a number of recommendations that are not included in the tree policy. So
is this the ones that were sent through?
The question is whether they can be dealt with separately. But anyway,
yep,
just
that's fine.
Yanni, if you could introduce the report on the hearings panel.
Thank you. So just to highlight that the tree policy has been a long time coming. It's been something that's had working parties, and it's got to a point where it's come in front of us. The community that did get engaged overwhelmingly were concerned that we needed to recognise the value and to protect our trees, especially with a climate change emergency and the issue of ecology, biodiversity and sustainability. So as a hearing panel, and there were only two of us, Melanie and myself, so I'd like to acknowledge Councillor Melanie Coker. We listened to what people had said and we came up with a range of recommendations. What's important to note is that the urban forest strategy is to be developed, and staff did give feedback around a lot of the things that were being raised could be done as part of that. But there were also issues around, particularly around the impact post-earthquake of intensification and development in existing communities that had lost a lot of the tree coverage. And so the hearing panel really, we tried to balance the policies in terms of the tree policy versus the need to get other work happening to recognise the concerns that the submitters had raised. Just in terms of the city, I mean, I'm happy to go through each one if people would like that. But in terms of the tree policy, you know, I think we've made a lot of technical changes and there's a lot of detail in that, and I think we're in a good place. I don't think that there's much concern, I hope, with my colleagues around where we've got to with that. We've tried to make it enabling to deal with the concerns that people may raise in terms of the damage to public infrastructure or the impact on a private citizen, but we've also got some safeguards just to ensure that that process is robust. So really, I think it's probably best I just talk through some of those other recommendations just to be really, really clear.
I just wanted the report on the tree policy on the table because the other recommendations are likely to be subject to some discussion. So I just wanted to report back on the tree policy, which is what you were, the hearings panel report, that's what you're required to do.
It's hard to separate out the points that the submitters were making to just the tree policy. And so that's why we've added the additional resolutions.
I know, but the resolutions themselves require some wordsmithing.
Well, I don't agree with that at all.
What the members of the hearings panel want to achieve. And I'm not going to wordsmith amendments to them at the table, so we're going to do that when we're on a break. So, but is there anything else about the tree policy paper from the hearings panel point of view that you'd like to comment on?
Well, I don't, with respect, I don't see you can see these resolutions as separate than the tree policy paper.
Okay, well, but I'm chairing
so
this meeting.